Cleveland Bears. Since I was up at the school, and we've been working on rounding. Here is a lesson at home to help your child at home with understanding how to round. And I'm just we're just rounding whole numbers, and we eventually are going to get to the 100,000s place. That's where they need to be able to round. And anyways, we just start out, and I said, well, give me a number in the thousands place. And so we'll just make one up here, 5,685. And say we want to round this to the nearest tens. Okay? Well, we have to understand numbers here. And the first thing we always say is we've got to find the place value. Circle the digit. Well, what digit's in that tens place? The 8. Move to the right and underline it. Okay? So we have that part of our wrap down, but then we make our triangle legs, because we call this actually the rounding triangle. Okay? Now, what we first talk about is look at the entire number. This number, 5,685, it is somewhere between, its greatest place value is 5,000. So we start out there and we say this number is between 5,000 when we're counting and 6,000. Okay? Now that's the thousands place, and we know that this number would fit somewhere on a number line that goes on and on in between those two values. But then we want to round to the tens place. So we've got to think of our counting now. Now we're going to break this and look at, if we were to start counting from here, we've got to break this line down a little bit smaller. So we're going to break this line down into our hundreds. Why? Because hundreds is our next place value. So then here we go. We're going to start at 5,000 and we're going to count by 100. So we start out 5,000, and all of you know it. You can say it with me. 5,100, 5,200, and you know that this isn't going to be exactly straight. 5,300, 5,400, 5,500, 5,600, 5,700, 5,800, 5,900, and what comes after that? I hope you said it before me, 6,000. Now we look and we say, where does this number, 5,685, go in this line? So we're narrowing it down because we want to round to the tens. Well, we have to look at, we know it's between 5,000 and 6,000. We now know it's probably between, what's our hundreds number? 600 is the first 100 we would say. Then 700. If you chose it's between 5,600 and 5,700, you are correct. Now, once again, we're not rounding to the hundreds place, but now we've got to break this up because we're even going smaller. We're going to our tens place. So, right here, let's take our numbers and pull them out. We had 5,600. And the next 100 would be 5,700. Okay? Now, if I want to break it up, I'm going to break this hundreds number line into, you know your place value, tens. Because we started out with 1,000 number line, went to a hundreds number line. We have a hundreds number line. Now it's a tens number line. And we know how to start counting by tens. Our first number is our first 10 after this, if we started counting, it would start 5,600, 5,610, 5,620, 5,630, 5,640, 5,650, 5,660, 5,670, 5,680, 5,690, and I hope you said it before me, 5,700 is the next number. Now let's look at the number since we're rounding it in the tens place. We know it's between 5,600 and 5,700, but even more so, we now can narrow that down, and it's between 5,680, because that's the first 10 we would count, and somewhere between 5,690. Now we have found the legs to our triangle. 5,680, 5,690. Whoops. Had my comma in the wrong place. 5,690. Now, here's what we do, and boys and girls, you know what we do. This is going to affect our balloon here. Here's our balloon. It's a little bow and it comes. Here's our balloon. Now, hold your hand up. We can still hold on a balloon with one finger out, 2 fingers, 3 fingers. Even 4 fingers can hold a balloon, but can 5 fingers hold a balloon? Nope, the balloon is flown what? Up. And since the balloon is flown up, the number is going to change. Whoops, I didn't want to touch all of that. Anyways, the number is going to change, and it's going to make this 8 turn into something bigger, which is 5,690. Okay, now, something else I want to show you. We're going to take this same number, okay, 5,685. Yay, this smartboard is good. Maybe not. Sometimes we can get it erased right at one time. Okay, maybe not today. There we go. So we had 5,685. When we rounded it to the tens place, we got 5,690. Now let's think about it. Tens has how many zeros in it? 1. So our answer is going to have at least 1 0 at the end and sometimes 2. Let's round it to the hundreds place. So 5,685, if we round it to the hundreds place, okay, have our sticks. Now let's say this. Now I'm looking for where this is at on the number line, between what hundred it's between. Well, it's between 5,000 and 6,000, and so now we also know it's between 5,600, because we're now rounding in the hundreds place, and 5,700. So here's 5,600 and 5,700. Now, holding your balloon, can you hold a balloon if you have 8 things open? Nope. After 5, what's happened? The balloon has gone up. And so there is where we're going to get the 7. So it's, if we round it to the hundreds place, it's 5,700. And you know what would it be for the thousands place. It's between 5,000 and 6,000. You're always looking at where this entire number is in between, and all these numbers are close together. And of course, this balloon, this number makes my balloon fly. So it rounds to 6,000. Something else real quickly that we talked about was the higher the place value that we go when we round, the further away from the number we get. The smaller the place value we round, the closer to the number we get. And notice when we round to the thousands place, it had 3 zeros and sometimes it could have 4. That was a rounding lesson. Hope you enjoyed it. Talk to you later. See you in class soon. Bye-bye.